Welcome to Mind and Soul Matters. We're delighted to share with you again another special presentation from a live forum. It is part of a series of live talks organised in collaboration between Mind and Soul Matters and Melville Baha'i Community to discuss issues around mental health in our society. I will leave the introduction of our presenter to Dr. Dina Ashurian, MC of the forum. Enjoy this very interesting and informative presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dina, and I'll be your MC for this afternoon. As far as acknowledgements, I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting on Noongar land and to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land we're meeting on and their elders, past and present, and to their culture. Today's event is part of a series of mental health and well-being forums where we all explore relevant topics with the help of expert panel members. Baha'i communities all over the world are working to engage in social discourses on topics that are impacting our communities and the society at large. As the global population continues to age, there is a lot of focus on declining physical health. However, often a critical aspect of overall well-being, mental health, in the older age group is overlooked. Older adults face unique challenges, such as retirement, bereavement, grieving of the loss of friends and family, declining physical health, and increased isolation, all of which can contribute to mental health conditions. Whilst these issues are common, they are not an inevitable part of aging, and proactive measures can promote mental well-being in later life. So we will look forward to hearing some of the insights from our fabulous panelists today. Mrs. Nahid Meshgin, who will be sharing her lived experience of aging and strategies in maintaining her mental well-being. As well as being an older adult, Nahid happens to also be my mother. On a daily basis, I am reminded of the countless ways she has shown my siblings and I resilience, compassion, and the importance of connections and friendships, as well as showing kindness and support not only to family members, but to every person who crosses her path. So I'd like to welcome Nahid to the podium.
Throughout my life, I have lived in 3 continents and have traveled throughout 5. It was a soulful adventure. Through my life journey, I have endeavored to tread the pathway of love with all who pass my life. I also practice the value of my Baha'i faith and serve the communities I have lived in, sharing all the blessings of God that I have been showered with. Living in 3 continents brought me and my family many challenges that we, of course, were nevertheless overcome it. Showing love to all who cross your path in your life is not an easy task. But if you persevere it, the end is very pleasant. And you also gain some beautiful friends. I experienced many life-altering events in my life. As a teenager who chose to spend a year abroad, as a young bride living away from my extended family, as a traveler going to far-off countries and facing unknown, and as a new citizen of a new country. Abdul Baha says, we have to realize that everything which happens is due to some wisdom, and that nothing is without reason. I tried to practice the values of my faith and sharing them with anyone who was interested. The founder of our faith says, the essence of faith is fewness of words and abundance of deeds. When I practiced my faith, and have an opportunity to share it with a friend, a special joy comes to my heart that I cannot explain it to you. After surviving cancer many years ago, I tried to be a solace to many that I knew who had cancer. I hosted many morning tea to support the cancer foundations. And I think a positive outlook on life and also my faith, of course, had a great influence on me during all my illness. My humble advice to any young person is to treasure every moment of your life. Be grateful for what you have. And in times of hardship, rest assured that the crisis will pass and you may emerge victorious. Also, in times of test and difficulties, try to be a service to someone who is experiencing harder than you. That will bring joy to your heart. I often turn to prayers, which really, in the time of difficulties, give me some comfort. In the Baha'i writings, it says, "My calamity is my providence. Outwardly is fire, inwardly is light and mercy." I know that all of our life's trials teach us something. I know for me it was. By the time you reach a senior age, you would have had many life experiences, pleasant and sometimes not so pleasant. In my current age, I have been attending many funerals of my close friends or some of family members, which brings sadness to my heart. I think when we are older, funerals affect us much more. Losing my parents was extremely hard, but I was grateful for having them close by almost all my life in all my places, all 3 continents that I lived, and did whatever I could for them until their final moments. I've asked my children, when it comes to the time of my funeral, please don't include a eulogy, but instead ask them to read my autobiography, which I published a few years ago. In this period of my life, things I do which regular for me is doing yoga every day, walking every day, and also listen to music. Music is my really soul comfort. I love spending time with my dear friends and family members, and also contemplating in the reality. When I'm doing meeting with them, I like to contemplate the reality of our lives, and through communication, reflection, and action, which is one of those could be services, assisting their community in becoming a better place for many generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Nahid, Mom. We often talk about protective factors for our mental well-being, and it was clear, I guess, from her presentation, what were her protective factors. So her faith, but also her practice of prayers, exercise, and those connections that Gabriella spoke about. So thank you for sharing your life journey with us. So friends, this is now time for us to open the floor to questions.
I'm just wondering if we play enough throughout life as we get older. My husband retired a couple of years ago, and we've found actually setting aside time, and you've mentioned bridge, as my parents always used to play, but playing games together. Life is so busy and we have so many demands placed on us, but we've found playing a game or two, whether it's cards or backgammon, every day really brings us joy and helps us switch off from the things that give us more concern. So I'm just wondering, in society, do you think we're playing enough, or are we too distracted by life and the internet?
I know I do that. And with my husband, we play backgammon a lot. And I think that is really taking some of the time that, as you mentioned, sometimes you get bored, you don't know what to do. And I think that would be wonderful. I mean, my husband is not too TV person. So, but anyway, things like this, I think it helps very much. Or one is the other ones is banana or something that you put the letters on and you make, that play, I also love it too. That brings some thought in my mind. the words play, yes, that game is also I enjoyed very much.
These forums are really about improving our mental health literacy around particular topics. So promoting mental health literacy among older adults, their caregivers, and healthcare providers can help reduce the stigma and improve outcomes for all different populations, but in today's case, older adults. I'd like to say a big thank you to the Baha'i community of Melville for hosting today, our expert panelists, our audiovisual guys, and the Mental Health Forum's organizing task force.
If you found today's episode useful, remember to share an episode with a friend and follow Mind and Soul Matters on your preferred podcast platform and on social media. Look forward to your company next time on Mind and Soul Matters.